Welcome back to a brand new video of the targeted individual program. As I said, the word brand new video. NY Predators Department using their sirens in the background. So, I woke up this morning and I had a pretty big breakfast. Okay, that's number 32. Yes, it is 90323. Look, and he stops right next to me, right? Look, 90323. UPS truck. All right, I can tell you, I can always tell when they use the same people. Man, to target me as he's pressing his thumb on his sweater, right? Not to close up his jacket now, but on his sweater. Right, pressing his thumb on his. What color is the sweater? Brown. All right, what color is the UPS truck? Brown. You see how that works? You see how they try to draw associations? The number 32 with the color brown. Right, so now they're trying to use the color brown or the number 32 to what is called transference of triggers and anchors. Right, that is an actual psychological term when it comes to coercive persuasion programming, brainwashing, dark NLP. Right, it is to use triggers and to transfer triggers and anchors. So you can create triggers and anchors, and then you can also do transference of triggers and anchors to start to associate whatever emotional manipulation, thought, negative thought patterns, or what have you. Right? So for example, they want me to smoke, right? They will use, again, certain things to trigger me. If that doesn't work, then they'll try different methods. So the trigger will still be the same, but then now the anchor will be different, right? Or the anchor will be the same, but the trigger will be different. That's what is called wow, it's windy out here. All right, it's what is called the transference of anchors and triggers. Now in the description I may, if I remember, I will share that information in the description. Because again, I don't like to just say things without giving proper explanation and a detailed explanation of what it is I'm talking about, right? So that way when you read it, you have or you watch my video and you read the description, you have no doubt, right? Because you will know. So yeah. As I said, you have no doubt. NY Predators Department using their sirens. I can still hear them, so I got earphones on. I'm listening to Bob Marley in my other phone, and I can still hear them. Okay, that's to tell you. So maybe this phone might be able to pick up the sirens in the background. But if you use a headphone, you listen to my videos and listen closely. Just listen for sirens. All right, listen also for when I say certain things. You hear sirens or you hear call horn. Right, that will give you an indication of what it is that they do, and it's constant, right? So it's like, as a TI target individual, you have no, you have no choice but to draw the association because it's constant, right? It's really, really constant. Again, as I said, the word constant, they use the call horn, right? So it's like I said, either call horn or siren. You just got, like I said, you gotta listen out. Use your headphones, and you will hear exactly what I hear. But they try to be very subtle and sneaky about it. Right? They try to be very subtle and sneaky about it, and at times, not so much. Whenever they feel emboldened, like yesterday, they were very emboldened, and like I said, it goes from very subtle to extreme, and then back to subtle again. Right? Because in these sort of conditioning program, these sort of brainwashing program, you recognize not only the covert tactics and methods, but the frequency of the attacks the duration of the attacks, right? So, and the intensity of the attacks, right? You know, as I was about to leave, Alda Mysterioso called me. I said, as I was about to leave, here the car horn. As I was about to leave the house, Alda called me. You know, and I'm like, okay, I gotta use the bathroom, so I talked to her for a little bit, and I'm like, listen, I gotta go. And you know, like I said, I can always tell when she's being manipulated, even though she may not recognize it. I can tell, because every time I'm like, okay, I gotta go out, I gotta go pick up my daughter, all right? And she's still talking, trying to keep me on the phone. Until I'm like, listen, I gotta go. I know you got a lot to say, but when I talk about how they manipulate you at certain times, you know, to try to keep me from leaving the house so I can get to my daughter on time, it's always a delay tactic. You know, she doesn't know it. I mean, she's going through a lot right now. So I said, you know what? Instead of just, you know, I could have sent her a text and say, hey, I'll call you back. But I was like, because she was texting me a lot, so I said, okay, they're targeting her a lot today too. So, you know, just give her a listening ear for a little bit. One thing I know as a TI is that they try to take away our support system. And so, you know, it's very difficult for TIs who don't quite understand what's going on, you know, don't quite understand the processes and the methods and tactics and how they try to manipulate us against each other and manipulate us against ourselves, which is something I want to talk about too. So this morning, okay, I was sleeping, right? They hijacked my consciousness, co-opt my motor skills, and make me move my hands and press my thumb on my chest, my nipple. All right? And then the New York Predators Department started using the sirens. So when I recognized that, I took my other hand, pressed it against my other nipple, and I stuck out my pointing finger, which is this finger, all right? And they started with the sirens after that, you know? So then I took my hand and I cupped my chest, and they started with the sirens after that. And I was like, yeah, there you go. See, that's what I do, right? From my experience and what it is that they do to me. So I do certain things to send certain type of subliminal message back. Because like I said, this is constant. This is, you know, they hijack your consciousness. That's a gross violation, serious violation of your anatomy, of your sovereignty. As your, you know, your sovereign, as a sovereign person. You know, to be secure within your own home and within your own mind and your own body. So like I said, you know, when you understand these things, you know, you understand that they're criminals. Because when you look at the international laws, you look at constitutional laws, civil rights laws and all these things, you know, what they're doing to us is criminal. And it's against every law, every charter, every agreement, what have you, within nations when it comes to human rights and your civil rights. Right, so, you know, when you understand that, you know that that they're criminal. See, it doesn't matter if they think they can get away with it, because they can't. Because once you understand what it is that they're doing, you understand that they're criminals, whether they be manipulated or not. Because if somebody manipulates you to commit a crime, you're going to jail. They're charging you, okay? And you got to prove the manipulation, right? So they will claim, oh, okay, we're being manipulated. I know they're being manipulated, but come on now, like, you know, like common sense should have at least find some way. Look, we got a battle again. Oh, it's hilarious. You start to see a lot of these battle sanitation trucks. That's how they send subliminal messages.